recording video now.
Okay, sweet. So here we are, really. I mean, this is Warriors Cavs
Yep.
finals. Who would have expected?
I don't know. There's the playoffs roll on, you kind of like realize, nothing. You don't really expect anything else to happen.
I really like that Ernie Johnson ESPN thing, by the way. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, you learned a lot. You learned a lot about the guy that you might not necessarily know. But yeah,
Man, this team is. Oh man,
it's actually a decent starting lineup, which is interesting for the Cavs.
One of the funniest things I read was the Warriors versus the Cavs is like any 90s Disney movie with like LeBron, right? Versus these like prep school kids. Because if you think about it, Curry and Thompson were both like NBA families. They were both very, very well off. They had personal coaches, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And LeBron James, just the kid from Akron, you know, they've faced the perfectly well-oiled team. And he's got like a team of ragtag, you know, a bunch of individuals.
Yeah, that sounds pretty correct.
It makes me kind of want to root for LeBron.
You've got J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert too. You know, like they were on the Knicks.
Yes.
They weren't going to make the playoffs. Everything was going to hell, and then they get traded to Cavs, and suddenly they're playing great. You know, they're playing great series. They're defending people well. Everything's going well.
The key to this series, though, is definitely. Did you hear that Klay Thompson's out?
Yeah. Concussion. I thought it was just like they're not sure out for how long.
Do you know the timeline? Because I mean, the concussion usually is quite serious, right? It takes a little bit of time to get back.
Depends on the concussion. Like concussions are they're very variable.
Yeah.
Sometimes like they take a long time. Like it could, like if it's mild, they could just be like disorientations for a couple of days. Oh my god! I thought I was playing the Warriors. Jesus, that's terrible.
It happens every single time we play.
We get very confused.
Kick it out. Kick it out to LeBron. It's not bad.
Oh my god.
There's that interior defense that's going to be a key to this series.
I am amazed how little he's scoring right now, Andrew Bogut. Like it makes no sense to me. Because I remember, the year they made the Feather Dare team, and it was just he was like putting up 20. Oh, was that the Feather Dare team? I don't know. His All-Star year at least. He was putting up.
Yeah.
He was putting up like 20 points.
Was that the year that he broke his arm?
I think he broke his arm. Might be the year after.
There's J.R. Smith, by the way, playing like he's been playing for the entire playoffs.
He's been playing incredible in this playoffs. I mean, I guess it's like a bright side. There's no Jason Terry to like elbow on the head. He did that this playoffs actually, didn't he? He elbowed someone in the head.
That's right. It wasn't Klay Thompson, because Klay Thompson landed on LeBron or something. Landed on what's his name?
No, Klay Thompson.
Yes, because Klay Thompson had the bleeding ear in the game 5.
Yeah. He got kicked in the head by
It was a Trevor Ariza again, wasn't it? Trevor Ariza single-handedly responsible for all Warriors' deaths.
Yeah.
And Steph Curry 4 was so frightening.
And many cries of "Take me instead, God."
Yes.
From the fans.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, Bogut's getting positioned down low. He really should be putting up a little bit more, but he's not really playing that many minutes, though.
He doesn't need to. He's rebounding. He's blocking shots. He's doing what he's like basically paid to do, which is technically fine.
That's true.
Well, since we're talking about this, we might as well talk like how we got here, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. Good segue. My God, you think you're a pro or something?
So we'll start.
And then he sinks the 3.
It's LeBron James.
Yeah,
He'll randomly hit shots.
Well, yeah. How did we get here? Has this been a good playoffs?
This has actually been a very good playoffs.
Really?
I think so. Like, there's a lot of playoff storylines. A lot of them played out. Like, we'll start with the Western Conference, since the West this year was so much better than the East.
It was. I think it's been the most imbalanced year so far, and like it kind of matches up with all the talk about, you know, getting rid of the conferences and things like that.
Oh, and how like it'll just shift into like a tournament style for the playoffs. I think that's a pretty good idea. Like, it's mainly just because I am a Suns fan and I want to hit the playoffs again. Even it's like, yay, Western Conference. We need to win like 50 games to make the playoffs. But yeah, so let's see. First round. We'll start. Well, Warriors Pelicans. That was a.
It's a bit of a write-off, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was a good series. The Pelicans, you know, they're showing that Pelicans are good. They're good.
It's Monty Williams' series to lose, to be honest, which he has now.
I keep thinking I'm playing the Warriors. This is really terrible. But yeah, so not much to say about that series. It was a sweep, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was the one of many sweeps in the series.
So what are the other first rounds that were there? The Rockets versus...
This is the Mavs.
And they got swept.
Yes. It was a shame, really, because at the beginning of the season, we were really thinking the Mavs were going to be really good.
Well, welcome to Rondo.
What happened there?
I don't know. I think it's like Rondo's like personality is just like he thinks he's still like 2009, 2010, 2011 Rondo.
But does he? I mean, like, he's shooting now. You know, he's wants to be the best player on the team where he clearly is not the best player on the team.
Well, that's the thing. It's like he wants to be the alpha dog on the team, and it's not his team.
He wasn't even the alpha dog in 2009.
Yeah, he was.
Surely that was more of a team effort.
Okay, no, 2009, yes. 2010, the second finals, that was his team.
And look what happened to them. Don't get off me, man. There you go.
Okay, again, I maintain Ron Artest was a tipping point in that series, and also Kendrick Perkins going down. But you know, Ron Artest.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't argue with that at all. He single-handedly won us several games.
I'm still very bitter about Ron Artest.
Did you hear about what happened to him lately?
No.
He's playing in Italy at the moment. And he got like 5 fouls in one quarter and almost got into a fight. There was this moment when he was, you know, like having a tussle with. He was having a tussle with the with one of the opposing players, and someone in the crowd threw a bottle. And
oh god! So it's literally almost a replay.
Yes, exactly. It was going to be Malice at the Palace too, right?
Yeah.
Except for the fact that one of his teammates stopped the bottle in midair.
That's amazing, actually.
And got it, you know, and didn't hit Ron. I don't even think he knew.
Okay, that would have been good because I don't see. The thing is, Ron Artest wouldn't learn from like the first time. He would just go. He would go charging into the stands again.
Yes, of course. It's Ron Artest. What can you expect?
What is his name now?
It's the Panda's friend.
Okay,
because he played for the Sichuan Blue Sharks, the Blue Dolphins, or the Blue. Oh no, the Blue Whales, the Sichuan Blue Whales.
Why whales?
I don't know, man. Sichuan is such a strange place to have whale associations.
It's landlocked, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a river.
It's basically landlocked. I mean...
Was that a defensive 3-second violation?
Yeah, you just stood in the paint. You stood in the paint?
With who?
Your power forward. I've already forgotten his name. That's terrible.
That's a funny thing, because there is no power forward in this team. It's the most... Damn it. It's the most
Draymond Green, that's the one. Draymond Green.
I think it's Harrison Barnes playing. Oh wait, no, it is Draymond Green. Oh my goodness.
Harrison Barnes should be stuck.
Oh shit.
LeBron.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. That won't happen in real life.
No, that won't happen in real life. It'll be basically the internet will blow up and it will just no one will talk about it.
Little Kyrie as well, eh? Hey man. Oh come on. Clear those boards, would you? Hey, it's Spates. Spates hasn't been getting that many minutes. I think he's still injured.
I don't even think he fits the team very well.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Like, they're playing way too well as a unit right now.
That's the depth of this team, though. I mean, they're just so versatile. Man, you can't beat me. Is that Shumpert actually?
Yeah, that is a man Shumpert.
Maybe you can beat me.
He's long.
I thought it was a big.
What other first round series do we have to talk? Oh yes, of course, the Clippers Spurs on the West.
That was a really good series, and you notice we haven't talked much about the East. And I'll admit to you now, I haven't really watched that much of the Eastern Conference.
I thought the Eastern first round was not that exciting.
That was very dirty, JR.
Well, this is turning into a pretty good simulation then.
Look at that, it just pulled me right down.
Yeah. I don't know, the East first round wasn't that exciting. Like, every team that should have moved through basically moved through. Nothing like extraordinary happened in the first round. Like,
the Hawks nearly getting knocked out at some point.
Oh yeah, but that was against Brooklyn though, wasn't it?
Was it?
I'm pretty sure it was against Brooklyn.
Man, that's the bad thing about recording this with just two of us. You can't actually fact check any of this shit. I mean, that really goes to show how bad that entire conference was.
Well, no, that's the thing. It's like, that just wasn't. The first round from the East was just, it wasn't that exciting.
It's a shame the Wizards didn't do that well.
Yeah, this is the thing that if John Wall wasn't injured, I reckon the Wizards would have won that series because I mean Paul Pierce was playing out of his mind. He might not have been playing the best in the game, but he was hitting those shots, and it was insane that he basically missed one, and two of them just didn't matter.
That last shot was unbelievable.
That was I remember watching that. It was just I don't even have words to describe it.
Another storyline coming out of the Western Conference. What's going to happen to the Memphis Grizzlies, man? Perennially in the playoffs all this time, you know.
Well, it's just their style of basketball is not a modern one, and can you win nowadays with that 90s 80s style? Because I think if you move them back then, they would still be even now they're a very good team.
It goes to show because they're in the playoffs. They've been in the playoffs so many years in a row now. They've had good performances, basically, rack to rack, but they can never really make the leap. They can never get to a certain point. I mean, if you compare them in the Warriors series, for example, the amount of 3-point shot just really shows it all. I mean, I think Memphis shot something like 20% the amount of free throws that not free throws, the 3-pointers that Golden State did.
I'm not surprised because they're not a 3-point shooting team.
Exactly, but
at all.
That's the problem, they can play really hard, they can grit, and they can grind, but at the end of the day, here we go.
I think one of the big problems with Memphis right now is they don't have that marquee, Zach Randolph's not the same as he used to be. Marc Gasol's not. I've never seen Steve Kerr do that ever.
No.
Marc Gasol, he's an all-star, definitely, in my opinion, but he's not. He shouldn't be the best player on the team. Mike Conley was great.
Mm-hmm.
He was injured, though, technically.
His face was kind of split in half, yes.
Yeah, so that obviously didn't help things. Do you think Marc Gasol is going to leave?
I'd like to see him leave.
Really?
Yeah, I'd like to see him go do something else. Be a banker or something. I'd like to see him play on a team that can contend. Because Memphis is one of those teams that will always be in the playoffs and never contend. And that's kind of like Chris Paul's Hornets, back in the day. He's always got that team. And that's kind of the way the Pelicans are going at the moment as well. You got Anthony Davis, and you've got no one else really in that team at all.
I don't know though. That's that team is very.
That's a throwback.
That team is very strong. That Memphis team. Oh, that was terrible.
We practiced this drill.
Yeah.
You taught me how to do that one right there, right?
That was terrible.
Yeah. For people that don't know, Brian and I coach a girls' basketball team. It's
well, technically this year I'm now an intern, down from video coordinator from last year. So.
Wow, Festus Ezeli. Did you see how high off the glass that was?
He played a very good game 5.
Yes, he did.
Bogut wasn't foul trouble? No, I think he
was. Klay Thompson was in foul trouble, but the thing is, I don't think Bogut's just been utilized all that much. Ezeli's really shown up, and I'm getting destroyed in this game. But it's really awesome that Steve Kerr's recognized that Ezeli's got that kind of strength to be able to play deep playoffs minutes.
Yeah, it's wow, that was nice. I didn't expect that.
He did a very good job, and as a backup center now, I think he really fits into that role quite well. It's just a shame that he was injured so often during the year.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Can't stop that though.
No, you can't.
LeBron played center a few times.
I'm not surprised. He can play everything basically at this point.
It's like a small ball, heaven.
Yeah, super small ball. Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Oh, that's the versatility LeBron lends you. Technically, you could just go huge with LeBron too if you have the right personnel.
We're back.
One interesting question.
Go on.
Is Do you think the Clippers team could beat this Warriors team?
No.
You
No
don't
way.
think so?
No way, man. I mean, like that's a question of depth. This Warriors team is
A lot deeper.
so good. It runs so deep. Oh my god. Wow. That just happened. That's awesome. Talk about that a little later, actually. I got lots of things to say about Klay Thompson. If he actually ends up playing at all this series.
I think he will. Concussions usually they're they're complicated injuries. Like they're very, very complicated.
Oh shit, that was bad. That was bad.
It's very hard to put a timetable onto actually when he'll actually come back. The best we can hope for is soon. And they do have a week. They still have another 6 days. 5
Yeah,
days
I
at
think
this
they
point.
basically have a week, yeah.
Well, it's not till June the 4th. So, they still have plenty of time.
It's funny we're saying how deep this team is right now, but when my bench is on, I'm getting absolutely wrecked. I have no idea really where to go. You have Curry on the floor, it's much easier. The floor is a little bit more open. But yes, no, I don't think they can, mainly because of their bench. I think they excel in many different positions. It was the team that I did not want the Warriors. I mean, if you're a Warriors supporter, which I kind of am, you know?
You're a Warriors fan. It's just
Yeah.
you're also a Lakers fan,
My-
which is odd.
My relationship with the Golden State Warriors really did start when, I started playing NBA 2K. Used them for association mode, and that was good fun. But, what was I trying to say? Well, in terms of all the teams that, if I was the Warriors, that I wouldn't want to face in the playoffs, the Clippers would have been number one there.
Not the Spurs. Not
No,
late Spurs.
Maybe like the Spurs in the first round would have been pretty scary.
Really, first round, because they get scarier through the playoffs, in my opinion.
No, I don't think so. Not this time. I mean, the Clippers took them to what, 7 games, and then they lost.
Yeah, they took the Rockets to 7-2 though. I mean, they should have won that. If they didn't choke so abysmally, because they were up 3-1. It was like it was.
No. What I'm saying is that they took them to 7 games, and the Spurs were the ones who lost the game. It wasn't the Clippers that, whatever the Clippers were doing won them the game. It was the Spurs. They got deeper. Wow, that was awesome. They got all the way deep down into the 7th game, and they lost the game. Like in the first round, would have been pretty scary. I think they were really good at the end of the season. People were sleeping on them. They started getting really good. But the Clippers, I mean, in terms of their starting lineup, they do excel in quite a lot of different points. Chris Paul would be doing a really good job in Curry.
They have 3 people. Their 3 people are very good. Everyone else is kind of decidedly average. I mean, the only reason they lost that game is because no one else would made any shots.
What the hell was that?
I'm not used to using the right stick for controls.
Why are you using the right stick?
I wanted to direct the pass, but I ended up throwing something I didn't want to do. I don't know, I really thought the Clippers were title contenders after beating because they've had terrible playoff runs these past few years, and well, terrible as in they didn't live up to expectations. They choked at odd points.
Was it a choke, or was it just James Harden being the exceptional basketball player that he is?
Well, that's the interesting thing this year. Blake Griffin, Chris Paul, and DeAndre Jordan played, I think, fine in that series. It's just their supporting cast was not exactly good, shall we say. They just didn't hit the shots they needed to, which is a bit of a shame.
Wow, that was good.
Also, James Harden has played very well. Not as well in the conference finals, though.
No, I don't think it was James Harden's fault that they lost those conference finals. It was the rest of the team, man.
Really?
Horrible teammates.
As in he has no help, or it was just...
I think in Game 5, he really did give up. And if you look at Game 5 on its own, then you can say that James Harden played very well.
Oh no, he played...
He turned the ball over like 12 times, NBA record?
Like 13, yeah, 13.
Yeah, something crazy. But, that discounts the fact that he pretty much single-handedly defeated the Clippers from 3-1. You know,
basically,
yeah,
that's true. Well,
that's the record that people are going to remember. You're not going to remember the fact that he holds the NBA record for most turnovers, right? He's going to remember the fact that he's one of the only players to come down from 3-1. You know, and I'm saying players because honestly, his team just wasn't not there for most of those playoffs, man.
It's true.
Okay, like look at Trevor Ariza and the way he was playing at the start of the season. I know it's Trevor Ariza, but like the way he was playing at the start of the season, we were thinking like, wow, this is like really like contract year Trevor Ariza, right? If he was playing really well, if Dwight Howard actually wanted to win a game of, wanted to win the NBA title.
I don't know what to think anymore about Dwight Howard. Nothing he does makes any sense anymore. He actually played a very good Game 5, which is interesting, but I don't think him playing well necessarily means that the Rockets are a good team. I think if he brings what he brought as an Orlando player, like a high pick and roll guy, a guy who can...
High pick and roll works so well with James Harden as well.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing about it. Do you think McHale is a terrible coach?
No, I honestly don't think so. I think he's not terrible. He's average, I would say. Like he'll win you some games, he'll lose you some games, but I think he has a very sound basketball mind.
Yes,
and
evidently he used to be one of the best low post players. Wow.
My big thing is I really wish he could be an assistant like was it Patrick Ewing?
I think LeBron is overreacting to this right now, by the way. Did you see that?
A little bit, yes. Video game, son. But yeah, I wish he could be an assistant, just develop young bigs, because a lot of you see a lot of young bigs into these, and they don't have no idea what they're doing on the offensive. Like either that or I don't know. It's just not the same. Either that or just have way too high expectations of people. But yeah.
Yeah, I honestly think that the performance of the Rockets masked how bad a coach King McHale is.
You really don't like him that much?
No. Not at all. His rotations were pretty off.
I don't know. He let Josh Smith win them games.
That's the crazy thing is like you get performances like that from teams that potentially might not have very good coaching.
Well, I always have a soft spot for Josh Smith.
Of course, we all do.
I don't know. I think most Detroit fans hate him with a passion.
Well, he didn't serve very long in Detroit.
Yes, but
he kind of ruined the team.
He did kind of ruin the team, and after he left, he instantly got better.
Yes.
Oh, come on! I don't know. Andrew Bogut's scary.
I don't know why I took that shot, but okay, make it stick.
Because
this is the kind of run that the Warriors go on.
Because it's a Draymond Green shot. He'll take confidence shots and they'll go on.
I think it was Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals that the Warriors made that incredible 10-2 or 14-2 run. Yeah. And it happened in like 2 minutes. It was so crazy.
The Warriors do this. They suddenly get hot and they just suddenly start making points. It's crazy to watch. I don't know.
All Bogut needs to do is that. Pick up the ball, put it back in.
Put it back in. It's odd. He is getting a lot of more defensive rebounds rather than offensive ones. Which is the thing. Like he's basically their go-to defensive rebounder. Right
is the team a very good offensive rebounding team?
Yes, I think so. They have Draymond Green. They have. Okay, no, I'm just thinking about that. No, they're an okay offensive rebounding team. They have Steph Curry.
You got LeBron playing center right now?
I think it's just mismatch, because he's right there.
Right. Oh yeah, Timothy Mozgov.
Yeah.
Here we go.
LeBron didn't block that.
Yeah, he was going for it, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, Is that it for the Western Conference?
I think we've talked enough about the Western Conference, yeah.
I think we should actually talk about the East for a little bit.
Well, I think the only thing that really warrants conversation at this point is the Hawks. What happened?
Yeah. Well, actually, okay, I have to ask you this. Did you actually believe in the Hawks coming into the playoffs that they could actually win?
I did.
Really?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so am I the only person in the universe who thought they had no chance?
Well, probably not.
Okay.
I like the Hawks. I like the way they played all season. I like the way they moved the ball. I like the way that when they first played the Cavs, it made it look like the Cavs could not figure out what the hell they were doing because they were just so much more advanced in their offense.
The Cavs did start terribly.
They did. And that was thanks to... Oh, wow. Come on, Kyrie. Come on, Uncle Drew.
But yes, keep going.
Throughout the entire season, the way they played was just great. It was modern basketball. All the players were filling their roles very well. It was very lame how they got the, what was it, Player of the Month? The Hawks starting five or some shit.
Wait, really? They did that?
Yeah, yeah. It was,
that's terrible.
It was pretty lame. But,
That's really terrible.
But yeah, I believed in them. I thought the only thing holding them back was their bench, but I thought that the Eastern Conference would have been fine enough to cover for that, like, you know, that small... Go away. No. No. No, I do not accept. Exactly. Ball don't lie. You don't get 3 points for that shit.
I don't know. Tristan Thompson has been playing amazing these playoffs.
Yes.
Boy's about to get paid, as
Yes.
many people have been saying. That is not an original thought in any way, shape, or form.
What's that?
I don't know. that is one of the more I don't know what just happened moments. Fair. Okay, so you actually believed in them.
Yes.
Jono believed in them. I feel like
Jono believed in them with money. He found some really good odds. They were like amazing odds. Like at some point it was like 25 to 1 or something, and he bought some like, you know, he put a bit of money in it, and then it suddenly like refreshed the page on the TAB, and it became like 8 to 1 or something.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, like it was a good catch, but yeah, I mean, in hindsight, if you look back now, probably not.
Well, it's, you know,
They didn't have a bench.
their bench wasn't bad.
No, there was the stat that like when the Hawks were let me just gather my thoughts, but when the Hawks starting lineup was on the floor, they were like plus like 40 or something like that. When the bench was on the floor, they were like minus 60. You know?
Oh, okay.
There was something like that.
Well, one big thing is they didn't have Tabo Sefolosha of the series.
Well, it's because the police like broke his legs.
Yeah.
And nobody's talking about it.
Oddly enough, only sports people are talking about it.
Yeah, what the... Like, there's all this stuff going on about race relations, you know, with the police in America right now. You know, don't get fired. We're not going to talk about it that much. But why aren't people talking about this? Why aren't people talking about the fact that Thomas got his legs broken by the police?
I have no idea. It's one of the more odd things.
Is that something you can just sue over in America? Like,
I don't know. I'm not familiar with legislation.
did he suffer any loss? I guess in a court he'd have to prove that his contribution would have helped the Hawks get further in the playoffs. Which is, by the way, a court case that I would very, very much like to watch.
It would be interesting. Could you imagine it being judged by someone who has no idea about any
Well,
of
that's
this?
what a judge is supposed to be, right?
Not necessarily. A lot of them will have a lot of knowledge, not necessarily on the topic, but
I don't think they're allowed to use that knowledge, though.
No, they're not. But I think would it be interesting watching someone just fumble around with the case, or would it be interesting?
What's that all about?
Oh, because recording is also.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. So when you record, it also publishes onto Steam?
Maybe.
Huh.
I honestly have no idea.
Do you know that guy? Oh, that's Bowen.
That's Bowen, yeah. Sudden question I'm just thinking to myself suddenly is like, did I press the record button or did I press the broadcast button?
Oh god.
But on the other hand, don't know.
You're getting blown out now, son.
I am getting blown out right now. I think it's all these talks about the Hawks. I don't know.
Man, I love the Hawks ball movement.
Like,
I love the Hawks 3-point shooting. I love Al Horford. I love Kyle Korver. Like, all of them are playing great. Paul Millsap, the most underrated player in the entire NBA.
I think he's reached the point he's so underrated. He's like, everyone's like, oh my god, have you seen Paul Millsap? It's becoming a little stupid.
Yes. Have you seen how much he gets paid? It's like nothing.
No, he is on one of the best deals in the NBA.
For his level of production.
No, when people signed it, everyone thought like it was ridiculous that no one gave him a better offer, because he was destroying in the Jazz. It's just they were the Jazz.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't really have anything going for them.
I've always said Paul Millsap, you know, like really, really good player. Shame he's not that athletic.
He's a little bit of a defensive liability too.
But he's very clutch.
He is. He's
got good basketball IQ.
Well, here's one big thing about the Hawks, which I never understood, is why don't they just get a proper center and just let Al Horford play power forward?
Yeah.
This is like, sure, the league's going small ball, but on the other hand, like watching like the Hawks and just watching him play, it's kind of like making him do this every night. Isn't that nice to watch sometimes?
Who would you want to just answer this, by the way?
Yeah.
Just check it out. Who would that's kind of cool.
Oh, that is quite interesting.
The microphone's like picking up the clock like so clearly now.
Really?
Yeah, I can just hear it in my monitors. It's crazy. Are you checking for?
Yeah, it is getting recorded.
Oh, thank God. Alright. Let's do this. Who would you like to see on the Hawks as a center?
Ooh, that's actually quite an interesting one. Are we talking just any current players?
Yeah. I mean, okay. If you were the Hawks GM, who would you try and go for to fill in this gap? Which I completely agree with you. Al Horford should play power forward.
Ooh,
he should give us the pleasure of finally seeing him play power forward. Right?
I have to look at the free agent listings.
Okay, without looking at it, just a player. I mean, don't say like Marc Gasol or something. You know, someone.
No. Someone realistically that could get onto the Hawks.
Yeah, sure. Wow.
See, I don't think they necessarily. It's interesting what you will want as with the Hawks for your center, because I don't think they especially with the current coaching scheme, they could work with someone who's purely a shot blocker and rebounder.
Right. Having said that, Marc Gasol is perfect, right?
Well, Marc Gasol would be perfect. Or Paul Gasol would be very good too.
True.
Either of them would be fine.
Yes.
Marc Gasol would be better because he's a better defensive player than Paul Gasol is.
Right.
Joakim Noah would actually be very good on the Hawks. And they used to play together.
They did. And there'd be really instant team chemistry there.
Especially because Joakim, he defends, he's actually a good passer, he's a little bit of a ball handler, he can defend just about everyone. Well, he used to be able to.
A little bit of a ball handler, I love that.
He's a little bit. Sometimes he'll do amazing things, other times he'll do things that'll just make you scratch your head. This year he seems to have just dropped off the face of the earth. I don't know what the hell he was doing.
I think it's finding all that space with Pau Gasol now on the floor. It's an adjustment.
What was he doing in that Cavs series? I mean, none of any of his actions made any sense.
Whoa. Come on. Hit it. Is that Mike Miller?
Yeah, Mike Miller's getting a lot of minutes right now. It's amazing.
The ghost of Mike Miller, man. And how funny is it that James Jones is now going to his 5th NBA final in 5 years?
Well, welcome to the power of LeBron James.
Yeah. I would like... What about someone like Al Jefferson or something?
No, not Al Jefferson.
Too offensive?
Al Jefferson's 1, he's not a good offensive player. 2, he can't... He's a low block player, only.
Right, and that fills up too much space for
it'll fill up too much space for Al Horford, because Al Horford can play the high post, he can play the low post, but he does need room in the paint to work.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing about Joakim Noah is...
Oh, Dellavedova, come on, man. I'll play as dirty as you.
Oh my god.
That happened.
Wow, that was terrible by me. I couldn't find a passing option.
We have to talk about him later, by the way.
We will. We'll get to Dellavedova.
Remember every single time? Matthew Dellavedova, yeah, he's Australian. Did you know that?
It's something that they actually bring it up every single time they interview him.
Yes.
It's like the Australian. It's like really. This
No,
is
the worst is the Aussie. The Aussie. The Aussie. Who?
This is the only descriptive factor you have of.
What?
Wait, wasn't that a blatant? Wasn't that a blatant?
Let me just hide this. Hide panel. Here we go.
Wait, did he dribble before? He did dribble before.
Wait, here you go.
He gathers.
Tristan Thompson, alright, wanting to get a new contract, dribbles it, puts it down, drops steps, dribbles again.
How do the refs not call this in this video game? Wow.
Look at his face. He's so content. He's like looking so clearly at this as well. He's like, yep, I've got my eyes on him. I've got my eyes on this shot. It's like, yeah, my hands are down. Alright, so he's taking one dribble. Here we go. He's like, look, the ref like nods. The ref nods. He's like, yup. No, that's good. Yeah, see that nods? He's like, yup. Yup, he's nodding. And then he's like, yup. No, I'll just dribble it again.
Well, at least I didn't make the shot.
Oh, man.
I think we would have just given up on the game at this point if we made the shot.
Oh, time's up. Maybe that's why. Maybe it didn't matter. Maybe they're as lenient as they are in the NBA.
No. Oh man, NBA refs.
Yeah.
They're very... I wouldn't want to be an NBA ref. It would be insane.
Yeah.
Could you imagine everyone being like this much taller than you? And huge?
Yeah. Alright, so... Yeah, let's talk about Matthew Dellavedova now.
Okay.
Who is he?
I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard of him before.
Right.
Up until this year.
He's very young.
He is quite young.
Australian Institute of Sport, as far as you know. No, not Australian Institute of Sport. He played for
He played 1 year professionally in was it 1 year? He played professionally in
No,
Australia.
he did not.
He didn't?
He did not. He I had that confused with Kevin Lish.
Oh, okay.
Who was actually an NBL veteran, pretty much. Matthew Dellavedova
Nice block.
played in an NCAA school. Was drafted in the second round, and he's been with the Cavs like 2 or 3 years now, playing in the D League as well, I believe. Man, can you imagine the fact checkers after this if I was completely wrong? By the way,
I'm pretty sure he did play 1 year professionally.
no, definitely not.
Okay.
I looked this up. I did a little bit of homework, even though we're very, very unprepared. Draymond Green, what's he on? Let's see. Yeah, this is not like a Draymond Green game, eh? Usually he scores like 15 points now, you know?
Yeah, he's been playing very well.
But not like that. I'm just trying to get points out of him. But yeah, do you think he's dirty?
No, I honestly don't think he is.
I agree with you, thank you.
Okay, I believe in playoffs basketball, which is there are things which you just don't call.
Yes.
That's one thing. I mean, but on the other hand, okay, some of the things that happened with him, I do agree that I think the calls, while they weren't necessarily consistent, I do agree that some of those calls were the correct ones made at that time.
Right.
Because, yeah, I really don't feel like any of the stuff he did was intentional apart from that leg lock, but that he did get pushed.
Right.
And
yes.
I don't think the Al Horford thing, I don't think
he should have been ejected.
Al Horford shouldn't have been ejected. I don't think so, but on the other hand, he, like, Dellavedova, I don't think I don't think Al Horford's reaction was necessarily the best, shall we say, in that situation either. It's a two-way thing.
Yeah. I think it did a pretty, there was enough restraint there. But yes, you're right. I think I heard a friend talking, and I'm in this Facebook conversation that's been going for nearly a year and a half now. We just kind of follow the NBA.
Yeah.
But I heard from a friend that's if you get a 6'8" small forward, and he plays the same way Dellavedova does, people call him physical. But if you get someone as small as Dellavedova and as white as Dellavedova, don't get fired. Do people call him dirty, and it's just not fair? Present you with that question. You don't need an answer.
I don't really agree with that.
Is this gonna happen in game 1, by the way?
Well, I make a strong start and then Cleveland comes back. I mean, sorry, not Cleveland. The Warriors come back.
Yeah. Is this gonna happen? Because LeBron's been pretty. He's been pretty out of it.
Has he?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He's really been out of it. You really haven't been utilizing it that much.
He's got 6 assists. This is in 8-minute quarters, by the way. It's not the full.
Klay Thompson has 9 assists.
Okay, no, that's just crazy. No offense to Klay Thompson, but that's just crazy. I just don't see it happening.
Splash.
Oh god, that's insane.
This might happen. This might very well happen, by the way. I'm really looking forward to seeing Draymond Green play LeBron James. 23 versus 23.
That will be very good.
It'll be lots of fun.
He will be a very key component of the series. This is actually a finals, in my opinion. That's much. It's along the same vein as the last 3 finals. No, last 2 finals. Sorry. Where
yes.
it's actually a toss-up as to which team will actually win. I think.
It's the Warriors to lose, though. They come in as the clear favourites.
That's true. The Warriors are the favourites, but again, you don't really want to hit. You don't want to say, oh, you don't,
Jesus.
say this is LeBron's team, and you never want to rule LeBron's team out because LeBron. I mean, it's not a very sound argument, but again, we're talking about LeBron's team.
He came back, and he knew that it was going to be his team. By the way, they must look really stupid for getting Kevin Love now. I mean, not stupid, but like, it would have made no difference, right? If they kept Andrew Wiggins, and they would have Andrew Wiggins. Well, they're here in this position now without really needing Kevin Love.
I've always said that I never liked the Kevin Love trade. I preferred keeping Andrew Wiggins.
Absolutely, and he's come out and he's panned out to be such a good player.
If they're winning now, I do agree that Kevin Love gave them a better chance. Because here's the thing. Okay, I know you've never really liked Kevin Love, but he is an incredible player.
Yes.
And it's like, sure, his stats this year weren't as good, but he was, he wasn't asked to lead the offense. He wasn't banging down low, or he wasn't meant to be banging down low. And it's just, like, the way they play him on offense is he stands in the corner and waits to shoot a jump shot.
Right. Well, yeah, they really want to space the floor with him a lot.
And that's what he brought. He did it very well. Could you imagine this Cavs team? And we take out, and we have a center rotation of Tristan Thompson and Timothy Mozgov. And you just have a 4 spacing the floor.
Yeah. No, it'd be really good. There'd be lots of space for LeBron to go around, carve the lanes up.
Yeah, and Kyrie. And Kyrie.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It would be incredible, but it's just a shame he's injured right now. Like, that's really just it. I mean, that injury was just terrible. It shouldn't have happened. There was no reason for it to happen at all.
So, the finals. We're here, finally. We wanted the podcast to start a little earlier, but obviously, kind of work got in the way. But I'm glad we're here. Who you got?
Ooh, I want to say Warriors, but I have a bad feeling about it.
In how many games?
I'd say 6.
Warriors in 6. That's exactly kind of what I was going to say. I think without Klay Thompson, it might be a toss-up. Maybe Warriors in 7, or either way, Cavs in 7. Could go to 7.
I don't think it'll be a series where one team is just going to stomp.
You reckon the Warriors are going to lose the first game at home?
No, I do not see the Warriors losing at home, to be honest.
At all? Well, then they win, right?
Yeah. I honestly don't think they lose the first game, because, again, this is... The Warriors' home court is one of the few home courts in the NBA which count for something.
Right.
Like, they have an incredible home court.
Can you kind of see the storylines come out, though, right? Because, like, I mean, what I'm trying to say is, Like, can you imagine the Warriors losing that game 1 on home court and then people, like, starting to, like, you know, worry?
Well,
That was amazing.
You should always be worried.
Can I just have a look at that?
Yeah, sure.
That was... I don't know how to use this replay camera. This is going to be overarching theme to this. Oh, he wasn't actually that... He was wide open, actually. Look at this. Cleared up space. He was pretty much wide open. Yeah.
Well, yeah, with his release. But... I don't like betting against LeBron because...
Right, because he is the best player on the planet.
Yeah. And also his supporting cast is actually good at this time.
He's going to make a team, you know, like the collateral damage, right? He's going to make a team overpay for J.R. Smith.
Okay, well, J.R. Smith deserved a better contract than the one he got.
Ew. But it's still J.R. Smith, man. It's
yeah,
like
his problem is he was insane.
Yeah.
That is his problem.
He's nuts. Yeah. Oh. I'm gonna try one of these.
Iguodala's going to also be another very important part of the series.
Absolutely, especially if Klay Thompson's not going to be able to play a few games because of his injury.
Yeah. Mainly because I reckon the 2 defensive stoppers they're going to throw... Here's an interesting one, because Harrison Barnes plays the 4 very well.
He does.
Will he play the 4 this series at all?
Yes. Both teams
so?
play... Yeah, but both teams run small ball lineups.
But they also play Tristan Thompson at 4 a lot. And can Harrison Barnes
keep up with Tristan? I think Harrison Barnes is much longer than, you know... He can extend. I think he can do it. Yeah, absolutely. But his role is actually stopping a problem. He's a shooter now. You know, most improved shooter in the league, Harrison Barnes.
That was Mike Miller.
That was.
I did not expect that. Wow, I'm getting destroyed. I just realized this.
It's the 4th quarter, Brian.
I know that I know. I blame all the missed alley-oops this game. I should really just stop throwing them and go for, you know, the easy option.
I think you were just concentrating on being too much of an analyst for this podcast than actually playing this game. We usually have closer games than this, I would say. Wow. Wow. Alright. Oh yeah, it's definitely over now.
That was a terrible shot. And that is a... oh well. These things happen. I feel like, you know, for a first podcast, we had way too much to talk about.
It is the finals. We're coming up. You know? You're throwing a lot of alley-oops. I've not mentioned this. I've not really talked about a single one of these.
Yeah, well, it's reached a point where we just stopped talking about the fact that I throw way too many alley-oops in a game.
I think the Warriors are definitely going to win the finals. We'll put it this way. We'll talk about it. I'll reassess that. We'll go halfway through the finals, and we'll come up with another episode, and we'll see what happens. Right?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I still believe it's a toss-up this year. Okay, no, I'm gonna say it this way. It's about 65 or 70 towards the Warriors, but the Cavs have a very that's still a decent percentage for the Cavs to come back and win. To actually win the finals, because I can see them doing it.
Klay Thompson is the player of the game. He really needs to show up this series.
Yes, he does.
He really, really does need to show up.
Well, going off the last game, he should. I hope he's healthy. Wish the best for him. Concussions are never a simple injury.
Yes, absolutely. I think hopefully he'll be fine. He's a tough guy. Yeah, wish him all the best.
Yep. By the way, just a quick thing. It's so nice to see Sean Livingston playing well and being healthy.
It's good, isn't it?
Oh man.
How do you come back from that? Almost having to have your leg amputated.
That's
a real resilience story right there. There'll be a 30 for 30 for it one day, you know it. It'll be something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe. I don't know.
It's a great resurgence, and yeah, it's been really awesome to watch. He was good last year on the Nets.
I thought it was the Clippers.
No, that's when he died.
Oh yeah, no, he died on the Clippers.
Yeah.
Yay, the Clippers. Bringing joy to all the other franchises.
Well, that was a good game. Hopefully, that's not how it pans out in the actual thing. Hopefully, we get a closer game. But yeah, I'll be watching the finals of Intent.
Yep, it'll be an interesting series.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think like these finals. The last few years we've had very good finals. I mean, last year went to 6 or 7 games.
Yes.
And then the year before, the same thing happened.
Last year was one of the great finals.
Yeah. Well, so was the year before.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the year before that was great too, because it was just LeBron coming into his own. I actually think the worst finals was the first the first Lakers title.
Yeah.
Because no one thought Orlando would win. It was just, okay, the Lakers have got this. It's Orlando. I mean, sure, Dwight Howard was godly then, but
Plus minus 26. Yeah.
And there is why Maurice Bates doesn't get played that much.
Yes. So we'll be back with a new episode probably halfway through the finals.
Hope, yeah, or maybe sooner actually.
Yeah, we really hope to publish this before the finals actually start.
We do have a little while.
Yeah, so we have a little bit of time. So by the time you listen to this, hopefully Klay Thompson's better, and hopefully, I hope you enjoy the NBA finals. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We'll talk to you later.
Cool.
See ya.